So we got 100-something wins. I don't know how many games we had. Probably at least 110. Quite enough to pull an opinion. And yeah, as we were saying earlier from the first one, this is the most I've actually had a chance to play the game, even though I have a comprehension of the mechanics. Like, I've always understood what they were going for mechanically and what the devs sort of want us to do. That being said, tonight was the night that I got to fight a dev and several people that were actually using the majority of the mechanics against me. Yeah, dude, no kidding. It's really fun. It's actually really fun when people start breaking your combos. You start baiting things. You have to start labbing how to bait things, all that kind of stuff. If there's one thing I have noticed in my extensive play session now, yeah, the motion controls really need work. I aggressively hope that the motion controls get figured out in a way that makes them make sense. I can barely even jump up forward and do fireball forward and have it come out with what I want. I get DP. So it's things like that where I'm like trying my best to get the consistent input and it just doesn't happen. I'm getting them like 3/4 of the time. If I can get them 90% of the time, that'd be great, but it's just fireball forward, fireball back, and dragon punch. I hope the motion controls get ironed out because I actually really like it. I actually really dig the game on stick, but I do feel, especially for folks that are able to reliably wake up with level 3 with not have to worry about timing, I gotta wake up and do level 3s and stuff with a DP input. And that's tough, man. It's actually rough. I do hope that motion controls get a benefit of some kind, like a small bonus, where it doesn't need to be anything substantial or insane. Just some small reward for doing manual inputs of the game would be nice. That being said, there's still a lot of things that are like messed up in general, a lot of like technical issues across the board. But I think like once you start getting into the foundation of what the game has to offer, like mechanically, pretty fun. I do think damage scaling needs a lot of work, a shit ton of work. I do hope that that gets ironed out in some way that makes sense. Here's where my criticism was. We get way too much meter, and there's not as much incentive to use boost gauge on stuff. Boost gauge has a lot of uses that you can do between dash canceling, extended combos, EXs, that kind of stuff, but I do feel like whenever I try to use boost gauge in combos, it really breaks out the combo mad quick, and I'm like, oh, that's a little weird. It seems like the game wants me to use super more than anything right now, when I kind of wish we could be more creative with boost gauge mid-combo, you know what I mean? That being said, I think there's also an issue where if you try to go for like unique staircase combos or unique combos that aren't just like the most basic things, it feels like the gauge also fills up really fast for some reason. I want that to be figured out where it's like, I want to go for some really unique staircase combos or like manual combos, right? And not have it completely cash out the boost gauge like immediately. It feels like me going for like the simplest route is actually the most damaging and most effective, which sort of takes away from the creativity that you could have with some of the combos in the game. I'm sort of hoping that like the manual combos let your combos be a bit longer and gives us an opportunity to go for some like really neat things outside of this, the most sort of basic like button, EX, launcher, EX into this, and then tag situation, like all that kind of stuff. I do really kind of want manual combos to make that gauge not fill up nearly as fast. Yeah, Tokon has that issue to a certain degree, but Tokon doesn't incentivize tagging, so this fixes that because there's a ton. This game wants you to be cycling like crazy, and I think that's really fun. I really dig the cycling process of this game and getting your whole team in and out, especially when you start getting familiar with all three of your characters. It gets really fun. I dig it, man. I really enjoyed how wild tagging can sort of get, and the counterplay to tagging, the counterplay to heroic strike. There's armor on armor. There are some crazy interactions we were watching happen when we were playing. All that stuff I think is mad cool, dude. Watching like all these different mechanics collide with each other, collide with what character capabilities it can do, because some characters have things that just break through heroic strike, just break through some of these other things. It's like, okay, yeah, that's kind of neat. I don't mind the mobility in the game. I don't think it's the best as of right now, but I think it's okay, and I'm getting better at it. But I do think mobility needs a little bit of work. Like dashing, the space of characters' dashes aren't necessarily great, and the boost dash only feels okay at times. So I hope that that gets ironed out a little bit too. Either way, yeah, dude, once you get to the meat and bones of the game, the fun, it's very fun. It's actually mad cool. I just want to play more people that are playing at like that level, because my enjoyment went up like 5 times as much of just playing like randoms and just doing big combos. Dude, the two-way interaction of the game is easily my favorite part.